Hello and welcome. We hope you enjoyed our program today. Please enjoy the show.
Hello and welcome back to the channel. My name is Bree if you're new here. And you know, every video I'm coming to you with a different look. I'm trying, I'm experimenting. I'm like looking at myself through my camera and I look insane. So anyway, in this video I'm going to be doing some illustration. Now, I asked you in my last video if you wanted to see clowns or acrobats. Most of you said clowns, but I'm gonna ignore that. Only because I think that I really do need practice on doing more like anatomy and different poses. I'm not too strong in that. I want to get a lot better, so I'm going to try to do all the hard stuff first, the stuff that I'm not really comfortable and familiar with, and then I can move on to like the more fun stuff, the more familiar stuff like clowns. And that is what I'm going to be doing in this video. So if you're interested in that, keep watching. Let's start off with the flying trapeze. Now, this is kind of one of the most iconic performances you will see in a circus. And while I was researching this kind of performance, oh my goodness, it looked insane. To have that level of skill and trust in a partner is crazy. You really have to trust the person that is about to catch you when you're doing this. I really struggled figuring out how I wanted the poses to be because it's such a strange angle. I use a lot of photo references for this, and I kind of wanted to focus on the male trapeze artist in this one a little more, just because I don't get to draw men a lot, and now thinking about it, I should have done 2 men because that would have been a good practice on, you know, the anatomy of the male body. Anyway, fun fact, the flying trapeze was invented by a French acrobat in 1859. Isn't that so interesting? I figure why not give you guys a little bit of a fun fact for you. Anyway, I really struggled with this sketch out of all of them, especially when it came to drawing the woman's head. I didn't really understand which angle it should be, and with a lot of these drawings, especially for the people, and it's hard. My brain doesn't understand the human body, so I'm definitely gonna practice doing that a little more. But I do have to remember this isn't like a super realistic drawing. These are more like cartoons, so it doesn't have to be completely accurate, but you know, it has to be a little believable, like not odd looking. And I definitely struggled with the hands as well, where the hand placement is, how they're actually grabbing onto each other when they do this kind of performance. And for the coloring, I kind of want them to be in these yellow suits because I feel like that will stand out the most. Plus, this kind of performance usually has really bright yellows and reds in terms of costumes because they're against this the dark background of the crowd, and they really want the performance to stand out. So I'll put them in yellow and with some red accents. So basically what I do for the first layer of all my drawings is I just kind of cut out all the shapes first, and then I go in and fill them in either with like painting or airbrushing. Then I'm going to add some more detail because I thought it looked a little too plain. So I'm going to add a little more detail, some sparkles, some gems, some highlights to the frills in her outfit as well to give it more dimension. And I'm going to be honest, when I was at this stage of the drawing, I didn't like it. I didn't really like how it was looking. I didn't like their poses and how they were shaped, and I didn't like their costume or anything. But I kept pushing through. I was hoping that his face would kind of save it a little bit, make it actually look a little more appealing. And while I was drawing him, I'm like, he reminds me of someone. Oh, he's reminding me of Curious George's dad. And then I looked it up and realized that that is not his name. He is not George's dad. He is the man in the yellow hat. I did not know that's what they called him. He doesn't have a name. He should have a name, the man in the yellow hat. Anyway, but that's who he looked like. That was unintentional. I think it makes it look cute. The man in the yellow hat is in the circus. Okay, at this point of the drawing, I'm like, you know what? It's already colored in. It just seems like it's lacking detail. It's lacking something. Let me just put a little background behind it to kind of make it look like more of a full illustration. I just used a spray can, and I kind of wanted to simulate lights from a crowd or some kind of crowd in the distance, so I used a stamp tool and just made little dots, I guess to simulate audience members or flashes of lights. And I thought, you know what, I think they need to be highlighted. So one thing I love to do with all my drawings is put some kind of like highlight or light source in all of them to make them look a little more realistic. And I added this yellow outline to them and set the opacity to vivid light. I forget what setting I put it on, but anyway, it makes it look like there are highlights on them. And I also added this light above them as well to kind of give it a more realistic cinematic look to it, so it doesn't look so flat and so two-dimensional. And this made all the difference in the world to me. It looked a lot cooler, it was a lot more interesting. Do I love it? It's alright, but I'm gonna move on to my next one because I really need to move on. Okay, so the second illustration I am going to do are aerial silks. Now this is one of my favorite performances because, oh my goodness, look at that. That is pure strength. Like, you have to have crazy like upper and lower body strength to do this, because the only thing that's keeping you up there is your own physical strength. It's just cloth. That's the only thing that you're holding on to. So most of that strength to keep you up there is just your upper body strength, which is crazy. Here is another little fun fact for you. Aerial silks aren't actually made of silk. They are made of polyester and nylon. So, you know, that's interesting. Maybe they were silks originally when they first started to perform this. I don't know. Anyway, so for coloring, I think I'm gonna go with more of this like turquoise blue against red. I think I saw a picture of a costume on Pinterest and I really liked it, so I'm gonna use that kind of coloring for this picture. I'm also going to make her hair red because I think that will match her outfit a little more. I really did not spend a lot of time in the sketching part of the drawing. I think I was just tired and I didn't want to spend too much time on the detail of that, and I kind of just figured I'd, you know, clean it up when I'm coloring it. So I'm adding shadows to her arms, her fingers, give it more dimension so it's not so flat looking. I also need a lot of shadows on the silk as well. And one thing I realized when I was watching all of the performances is that there is a lot of overhead light, so they're being lit mostly from the top. So when it comes to these performers, I mean, I think everything in the circus is kind of like lit from the top, obviously. It's not necessarily a stage where they're lit from the front. So when it comes to lighting, I really have to make sure everything's on the top, really, which is kind of cool. And I can use shadows like this. When it comes to shadows, I just use a darker color and I multiply it and just decrease the opacity of it so it kind of looks like a shadow. I also added these star stamps to give the background a little more, you know, some pizzazz, make it a little more interesting. Like in the last illustration, I also added this yellow highlight so it looks like she's actually performing under a light, and then I go ahead and I blend that out when I'm finished. Gives it a little more contrast. This is actually my favorite part of coloring, is adding these details like the highlights and shadows, because that is what really brings it out, and I really like it. She's so cute. This illustration I feel the strongest about so far, and I am actually satisfied with this one. So let's move on to the next one. This one I'm going to be doing the aerial hoop. Aerial hoop is so cool. I actually wish I could do aerial hoop. It looks so fun. I couldn't really find a good fact about aerial hoops. I guess there's just not a lot of facts about aerial hoops for some reason. But I can give you another fact. Did you know that in ancient Egypt they had a lot of acrobat performers perform for the pharaohs, and they can actually make quite a bit of money and fame. They were well liked by the rulers in those civilizations. So that is a little fact for you. So in terms of coloring, I wanted to make her a black and white because I kind of wanted to try something different from the regular circus colors that I've been doing. A lot of performers that I've seen online do wear this really cute black and white costume. A lot of it is checkered, and I thought that was cool, so I'm gonna make her this like rose skirt and have her with the salt and pepper hair along with a black and white costume. For some reason I really struggled on her hair, and I think that's a result of not having a strong drawing, but it's okay. I really wanted to focus more on the posing and the costuming. The details bring it together, which is nice, but at the end of the day, I really just want to get more comfortable with the posing more than anything. I also gave her this corset that I do see a lot in circus performances, but I do see this corset in a lot of burlesque shows where these types of acrobatic aerial performances are also held as well. So I know it's a children's book, so I'm not going to do too much burlesque fashion, but it's really cool. It's a really beautiful aesthetic and I love the costumes. So I might incorporate that, you know, in more of like a child-friendly way. I'll have to figure out how to do that. I'm gonna add some of the highlights, and she looked kind of empty, so I'm like, what should I add? And I found this really cute, it's actually a feather stamp that I have in my library, so I added the feather stamp. It kind of looks more like rose petals because they're red, which I thought was really pretty, so I added that as a little accent. And there she is. I really love it. It came out pretty good. I do wish that I spent a little more time on her skirt because it's supposed to look more like white roses. It kind of just looks like her hair. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with it. And that is it, guys. I am finished. I really loved how they came out. You know, I always have this thing where in the beginning, or kind of even sometimes in the middle of a drawing, I'm like, this is bad. I don't want to finish this. It looks bad. It's not coming out right. But at the very end, I just happened to like get it all together and make it work. I don't know. But I'm actually really happy with how they came out. They look pretty good. So like I said, in my next video, I will be drawing clowns. I promise you will get your clowns. The clowns are coming. And I'm really excited about starting this new book. I might be starting it a little sooner than I expected. Really right now, the wheels are kind of turning in my brain narrative-wise. I kind of have like a vague idea of what I want this story to be about. So I will kind of dive deeper into that in future videos. I'll let you know a little bit more about what's going on in my head for this story. If you like this video, don't forget to like this video. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Come be a part of the fun. I'm making tons of videos about all kinds of stuff. I have a couple more arts and crafts projects lined up, a lot of more illustrations I want to do. So if you're into that kind of thing, subscribe to the channel. Why not? And don't forget to follow me on all my social media to stay up to date with what I am doing. And with that, we are done here, people. I will see you in the next video. Bye!